Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays Binding Wise AFTERBIRTH Plus. It's a daily. We've been winning on dailies, but not ranking that well. Yesterday, 4.68%, 401 overall. It was our rank with a score of 35,660. Took a lot of damage, learned a lot about living and a little about love. Today we're going to be Judas, and I'm hoping to keep our relatively good play recently going. I'm looking at scores. Number 1 to number 30 ranges from 45,000 to 55,000. So those are good scores. I forget what this is. Leprosy, you're tearing me apart. Lisa, you know what? It's a daily. Leprosy, Isaac. It's a passive item. Upon taking damage, Isaac gains a body part as an orbital, which blocks enemy shots and deals 7 damage per tick to enemies it comes in contact with. Maximum of 3 body parts active at once. The body parts can be destroyed. The body parts persist between floors. That's kind of cool. It is a reference to The Room. Thank you, Binding of Isaac Rebirth Wiki. I was aware, but it's nice to feel vindicated, I suppose. So really, today's run and all these dailies have just been a way for me to... I feel like I was in like an Isaac, you know, mental hospital or something. I almost got hit there. Talking about this conspiracy theory. They made the game harder. Anyone who's done the research knows they made the game harder. And then I've emerged and I've been like, I'm better now. We don't need to talk about that. But I'm still kind of in this convalescence, like, recovery period where I don't really... I'm not going into this being ambitious. I'm not saying we should win. We should come in the top 30 of today's daily. All I'm coming into this run suggesting is beating the run would be nice. And even, like, if we lose against Delirium, as long as we're able to beat Hush, make it to the Void Floor, and we lose against the unfair boss, I kind of consider that okay. Dude, I was pretty skeptical that was gonna work, but now I basically feel like a god. So, let's go back. Wait, we have 2 bombs now. This gives us a huge leg up on the competition if it gave us a Spirit Heart, which it obviously did not. So we're going to come back here, go to our shop. Our shop does have a Spirit Heart, but there is no money to purchase it yet, so we'll use a bomb to blow up the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper has no money. Okay. We need 1 penny. 1 penny gives us so much peace of mind. We can get hit like 3 times and be alright. We're not quite there yet. We do have a decent trinket. Poison, not that good as an item because there's better opportunities. As a trinket, there are better opportunities as well, but less of them. That's 5 cents. That's not going to be your second secret room, you dummy. In fact, now that I think about it, there's only 1 secret room location that makes any sense, and that's this one right here. Everything else is spoken for, or otherwise inadmissible for one reason or another. So we go up to 7 cents. Normally, I don't get too aggressive about looking for, you know, love in all the right places here, but we're going to shoot all the poops and fires because if we get a nickel, that could give us, it could change the game a little bit. Battery charge we cannot afford. Would have been nice to get blank card, but I honestly, unless we get Pageant Boy, I don't think the money exists on this floor to get Pageant Boys, or sorry, to get blank cards, so. Let's kill Big Horn. It's the great thing about being Judas. Sure, you're a little scared in the early game about your HP, but being able to go to 9 damage basically on demand is pretty nice. And Synth Oil's going to help out a lot with that as well, and we head down to the next floor feeling very good. What do you need to get between 45 and 55? I like how... Does anybody else go through this where, like, you know, sometimes if I'm, like, starting a class or something, I'm like... This is gonna make me sound, like, nerdier than I actually am. When I'm starting a class or something like that, I'm like, I'm not too worried about how I do in this class, you know, it's just for personal gain. Then I get, like, you know, 9 or 10 out of 10 on the first quiz, and I'm like, I'm gonna get the highest mark ever achieved. It's the same thing as, like, this Isaac run. Oh, I'm not that ambitious right now, you know, I'm just hoping to have, like, a good run, play well. Then after the first floor, I'm like, how do we get those scores? Because we're well poised. That was extremely lucky. But yeah, 45,000 is a high score. It's high enough to put you in the top 30, of course. Honestly, we don't need to blow up the other side, so let's just try this. It is a secret room, 2 Spirit Hearts back. It's a very survivable one. Obviously, you don't even need me to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway because it feels like 10 seconds of air. not taking so much bad damage. That'll help out a great deal. And then, if, you know, blank card maybe could show up again, and then we could use that combined with some 2-ofs. It's everything the body needs to have a good score. Apart from that, the path here, in case you're not aware, but you probably are, is make it to boss rush, make it to hush fight, use the hush fight to go to void, and then, again, in theory, you should leave the run before you fight delirium. I've been saying that that's not the kind of person I am, and every time I fight delirium, I lose like 3,000 points and probably slip like 100 points down the rankings. So, not to mention I've been fighting delirium on occasion in my, you know, non-dailies. I kind of hate that guy. I kind of think he's like the most annoying boss in the game, which is very sensible given the, you know, the hoops you gotta jump through to get to him, but still. My dog is annoying, is all I'm saying here. So leprosy, I'm assuming if it blocks a bullet, it takes damage, and thus comes closer to death. Or, you know, being removed from our orbital list, at least. But, if it hurts enemies, does it count? I'm excited, huh? It's an all-time classic. Like, if I use it as an orbital, does it take damage from contact, or does it only take damage from actually being shot by the enemies? Because I want to use my chariot card to make this as easy as possible. I don't really want to use a bomb to look for a secret room when it could be in many different locations, so... Oh, yeah, it's gone. Still, kind of a cool item. Take PJs, mostly that's, or exclusively that's just, extra spirit hearts, but, you know, it is nice as Judas, although we're probably in overkill territory. Razor Blade is interesting, but doesn't strike me as being particularly strong. Dark Bomb, of course, was amazing for us, and we're going to head down to the next floor, being on pace, but considering you want to fight Hush, you might want to go a little bit faster. But we do have that deal with the Devil Precedent now, so I'm thinking that it shouldn't be too much of a challenge to start going a little bit faster. You know what? Leprosy, Razor Blade might have actually been a combination I didn't even think of. And then beyond that, if we can get, like, HP IV Bag Leprosy, you can only have 3 orbitals at any given time, but... seems like a fairly high-quality pickup here. So, if you could just take that. Like, anything that gives us a benefit for taking damage is an interesting archetype in Isaac, because there's so many ways to exploit that without actually having to hurt yourself. Like, IV Bag functionally doesn't really hurt yourself most of the time. You only use it in, or you tend to only use it in situations where, you know, you're already doing fine on HP, or you're just desperate and you'll, you know, take what you can get. So that was poor damage there, of course, but we're gonna take these pills once we finish this room. Get out of here, you weird fly. I'm not saying, like, Leprosy Dull Razor is the one true pairing. Do people still say that? Is that more of a 2013 thing? I haven't seen OTP in a long time. It died along with, you know, me getting tweeted a bunch of Supernatural memes. Addicted. At least we know it exists, and we know that we don't need to know it anymore. There's known knowns, and there's unknown knowns. And then there's known unknowns and unknown unknowns. We now have a known unknown, which is probably one of the best unknowns, in my opinion. Don't even get me started on missing, though. That's a whole different category of silliness there. So probably our first key should go to the shop, but of course, literally as soon as I said that, we found ourselves face to face with the item room, and in the item room's a pretty good time. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but most of the time you go in there, you leave with an item, which is, I mean, a revelation, I'm sure, for some of you who haven't put 2 and 2 together on this run, but, or in this game, I should say. But yeah, I mean, it took me probably like 300 or 400 episodes to realize it anyway, as well. I mean, out of these, you gotta go car battery. I don't know if it even helps with Book of Belial. Like, I don't know if it's gonna take us to 2x the bonus for Book of Belial, but we gotta give it a shot. And if we ever replace Book of Belial, which actually happens quite frequently on Judas runs, because you can get items that fit your needs more flushly. I know this. This is Technology Zero. We had this on yesterday's daily, and it was sweet, except
it really, well, I mean, I've had it once. Now I'm talking like I'm an expert, you know. We all have one friend who spent 3 days in Spain and is like, oh, in Spain, this is how... Oh, the restaurants in Spain are so different than the ones here. Potion seller. You can't handle my finest paella. I don't know where the regular secret room is. Oh, this is like, this is beautiful. Perthrow is holdable and usable. And oh so kissable. Dagaz, very usable right now. Blank Rune, you usually just pop it. That's Dagaz. Onsus, at least it would allow us to see the secret room, which is far away. And then Perthrow. Alga's like really, really good for... That's, I'm pretty confident that's only one Book of Belial upgrade. So Book of Belial upgrades, I guess, do not stack with the car battery or not. I really want to roll into a Tears upgrade here, dude. If we can get static nonsense rolling about, I'll be a happy camper. That's a Tears upgrade. I'm a happy camper. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to worry about the secret room, even though we did use Onsus to find it. Just don't think it's worth the time investment, but I will come down here and check this out. Like, honestly, this is starting to pop. I'm a notoriously terrible judge of, like, how my run is looking from a point standpoint. You know, if you ask me how many points this run's going to finish with, I had somewhere between 25 and 150,000. What have I done? Okay, I'd lost a leprosy orbital in there. Okay, I'm going to close this. I don't care right now. I will engage you in the Skype conversation at a later basis and not belabor the point. But I think we have all the tools we need to rank well here. Like, already, because our rate of fire is 30% better than 10, which is a very strange way to describe that, I feel like we're capable of beating boss rush even faster than we beat it yesterday, which shouldn't be hard because yesterday's boss rush took us 1 to 2 human lifetimes on average, repeating, of course, to defeat. However, because we got this technology here, we get great coverage at killing enemies. Peep didn't die in record time, but it certainly, you know, didn't take forever. What you try to do, I think, is miss with your shots. And then get the shots to create, like, an electrical field that goes all the way through the enemy. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do. And having piercing shots will make this 20 times, you know, less difficult to pull off. So, that's what I'm hoping to get, is for this to be the Tech X run that I wanted to see yesterday, but never came through for us in the end. So start by going to the... Well, we have 1 key. Don't go to the item room yet. Save it for the shop, man. We still got to go to our shop on the last floor. Got a great deal with the Devil Chance here. And we're still holding Perthrow in case we find something that we're not a fan of. Yeah, we're starting to chew through these enemies pretty quickly. This feels like a strong daily. Ah, okay. It's a Tears Up and a Shot Speed Down, which seems like both of those might be good with Tech 0. And then in here, we just take that. That's a Tears Down, but a Damage Up. And then we get the Tears Up, the Shot Speed Down, Peace Up, A-Town Down. Doot, 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 doot. Usher, Usher. You know, I'm just speaking the universal language of hip-hop here. Yeah, let's go find the shop. We're 2 minutes ahead of schedule, and we're getting stronger as time goes on. Next big upgrade, I mean, getting to the Tears Cap would be nice. We got piercing shots with Tech 0 right now, so we're crushing it. Speed. Honestly, if we can get to like 1.4 speed, it's kind of an arbitrary number, in case you hadn't guessed, but if we can get to 1.4 speed, I'll be pretty happy. I almost left. I thought there was like a 0% chance he'd pay out that quickly. The virus, of course, it's made us sick, so we're at 0.9 speed, which I hadn't considered, sadly. We've got 1 key still, so if it's greed, it's greed. Yeah, it's greed. We do have enough time. The question is more whether we have the desire to try to gamble for a key. We don't need to. Lovely. I think, though, we should play... I mean, we got 49 cents. We should play the Judgment, and we should play the Blood Bank as much as possible as well, because Blood Bank for the speed upgrade mostly would be pretty nice right now. So we got HP. I think we take it because it allows us to play Blood Bag a little bit better. I still think you have to try. Could have been a good per throw opportunity, but life goes on. Alright, to stay on schedule, we have to leave right now, and that's fine. I still feel like this run is one of the stronger runs I've had on dailies over the past couple of weeks, and that's very encouraging. Stigmata is a lovely pickup. Not very strong from a damage standpoint, but it does inch us closer to 10 there. And beyond that, this has got to be our second secret room. The archetype just points us in the right direction. You know, you're going to think that I wasted a lot of spirit arts there, but we're already at max HP. Once you hit max level, you stop leveling. I'm going to head down to the next floor. DAE, Leonard. Okay, I'm ready. This floor, we don't expect to deal with the devil, and to be honest with you, we probably don't need one for the rest of the game. But it would be nice to get a, something that synergizes with Car Battery and eclipses Book of Belial in terms of usefulness. And I think kind of a less obvious but really comfortable item there would be Book of Shadows. You know, to get twice as much, or invincibility for twice as long. I know we can get 2 bombs for a bomb there, but I'm starting to not worry about time, but be more conscious about the timing of this run right now. Of course, there's like, you know, an endless variety of items that could fit our bill here. You gotta try this, I think. Rules card. I bought the Emperor card trying to pick up Yera, which is actually per throw. Just per throw me right now, and we don't want that, so that's fine. We got our Emperor card, and you gotta try this as well. Huge growth. And, I mean, like, you gotta try this as well. 2 of clubs. I'll stick with 2 of clubs. The Emperor card should not be relevant. But, yeah, there's a variety of spacebar items that fit our bill here. So we don't need to be overly attached to any of them in particular. But a spacebar item that works well for us would be nice, because Car Battery is good. And I would feel not so good if we had wasted it. So 1.5 minutes before we start to worry too much about time here. Pick up whatever you want to pick up. We finished this floor really, really quickly. The only reason, by the way, that I bought so many of those cards is because a 2 of diamonds is hugely valuable. I mean, a 2 of clubs could be hugely valuable. Don't use Book of Belial here. Not relevant. But mostly from a point standpoint, so we'll go explore. We could, if we leave this floor and things look dicey, that's a really good opportunity for a golden key. If things look dicey from a point standpoint, I don't know, maybe. Let's try Black Hole. At least we can keep enemies in one spot, and it's novel. We'll head down to the next floor here. Was there a key in the shop? Because if there's a key in the shop, we should hedge our bets a little bit. There was a key in the shop. Maybe we could buy 2 keys in the shop. That might be a smart idea. 2 champagne tickets. Nothing. Okay, 2 keys is enough, because now we get to save some money for the next floor. I think we're probably going to be like a little ahead of where I normally am. As far as points go, like we could be at 14 when we come down to this floor. 13.5. Oh, just 13 flat. Okay. Again, what did I tell you? Who is the worst person when it comes to judging point totals? Probably... I mean, I'm one of the few who tries and fails. Most people who try probably succeed, but most people in general just probably do the daily and go, that's where I ended up. So I don't know if the black hole's gonna last twice as long, or it's gonna have twice as much sucking power, or what's going on there, but we got it nonetheless. This is a scary situation. We got 2 keys. Usually you don't want to spend too much time doing this. Okay, that's fine. We wasted 1 key. We got some consumables out of it. Point-wise, you know, we'll get out of this. And 1 key for a golden key. I mean, we've been really lucky with the distribution of these so far. Showing up like exactly when we need them. Show enough exactly when we need them. Darn right. Okay. What do you get for the man who has everything? It's an easy answer. I don't have everything. Give me speed. Sure, a tears up. I mean, it might break the tears cap, but even if it doesn't, it's a tears up. It's not a bad thing, but, you know, don't let me stop you from giving me a tears upgrade if you decide that that's in the cards for us here. I'm not gonna complain. The run's lovely. It's actually fantastic situation. Genuinely one of the strongest dailies I've had in weeks. And I'm playing all right. I'm fitting the bill here. After a period of unique, you know, deconstruction in my Isaac play. Not deconstruction, that implies like a level of deliberateness. It's more like a destruction. Just wasn't playing very well at all. We've got this run here that's it's a beautiful creature, and now we're asking for speed upgrades, but we're asking for speed upgrades because I'm slow and I'd like to be faster. Neither of these items necessarily justify a purchase, static of the fact that we have restock. So I don't think I want to purchase. Oh, but it was actually really good. No, wait, Ace of Hearts. No, this is fine. No, it's not fine, actually. I thought we'd purchased a second Two of Clubs card, but we hadn't. Now we have Ace of Hearts, which I don't care about. But I'm not going to purchase anything here. I'd rather use our money on the shop to get more. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. And by the shop, I mean the shop in the Blue Womb. Which, you know, would have helped if I had articulated that a little faster for certain. But we have money, and we have restock. But I don't really want to spend money on bad items just to get restock to work. Let's go fight the boss. I think we're good to go here. And we can go to a deal with the devil, which is a rarity for us to have that sort of time. But if it's Krampus, honestly, I'd welcome it, because both Krampus's head and lump of coal could serve a purpose for us right now. It is Krampus. If we get screwed here because we don't have spectral tears, I'll never forgive myself, but that's good. In fact, it's very good. We get Locust of Conquest and Lump of Coal, and then let's see what we got going on Boss Rush. This would be a great Boss Rush to not be super slow on. I mean, how can you not take Magic Mush? You're gonna have to impress me pretty hard to make Magic Mush not the item of choice there. So we're gonna pop this down, grab Magic Mush. We have no other damage multipliers, so that's a 5 damage up. How is he interstellared? He escaped the event horizon. How does one do that? I don't understand. Has Neil Smoke DeGrasse Tyson been lying to me this whole time? We are going to get through this very, very quickly. I mean, oh, you know what? He's not really escaping, is the thing. He's just sort of getting trapped against the wall. I'm also sort of confused. Like, with car battery, I don't really understand why we're getting a full charge. Like, I understand why we're getting half of a charge when we kill a wave. I do not understand why we're getting a full charge, both angel statues at once. I don't understand why we get a full charge when we finish a wave. It's like we get a half charge when the wave dies, and then we get another half charge when the next wave spawns. Maybe they made Boss Rush easier when you have spacebar items? They just give you more charges now? Well, you know, I'm calling it like I see it. I'm pretty sure we're going to make the Hush fight. Oh, you're still hanging out over there, huh? I don't know if we have a particularly strong claim to beat the Hush fight quickly. What's going on here? It's war. Oh, so he just went into, like, the Z dimension to get away with that. I see how it is. I think we're going to be out of here by, like, 23 minutes at latest. And we have no mapping. It would be nice to sort that out. But point-wise, we're going to be very much ahead of the curve relative to my average here. So we get Cursed Eye. Obviously, like, that's not high on my list. So let's bounce, dude. This is a great situation.
I actually feel like the top 100 probably should shy away from saying it's a certainty. But it seems well within the realm of plausibility. Because I don't know if black hole is like an item that people respect. If you know what I mean. Like, don't think it's an item where people go, oh, black hole, I'll take that, you know? At least I don't respect it most of the time. I look at it and I go, this is not garbage, but I just don't really understand how to make it work for us in the best way possible here. How are we going to make it so we're able to defeat Delirium? Or is this going to be the daily where I succumb to the dark side and like just bow out of the Delirium fight? So we got Telepathy for Dummies, we got Satanic Bible, that is a bookworm transformation, but neither of them are that appealing to me as a keeper right now. Telepills, we lose the Hierophant, but we probably are never going to need the Hierophant, but we're going to go back anyway. But I think I am going to abstain from the Cursed Room. I don't think we need... And let me put it this way. The damage from the Cursed Room is going to, in all likelihood, outweigh the expected value of the Cursed Room. This is why I watch Northernlion, for the armchair statistician who's actually incorrect, but still, my hunch is that that's the case. And I guess we should have used the Satanic Bible once, but... Are we too late for, like, a 12 million view YouTube video that's Kylo Ren singing Adele's Hello, but called Hello from the Dark Side instead? You know, hello from the dark side. And then you gotta put other lyrics there that I can't really... I'm trying to think of what rhymes with dark side and has, like, some Star Wars relevance, but... You know, that's what the SNL writers are there for. I don't need to pick that up and put it back down. We're good. Let's go. Those things are about to pop again. We might as well use the black hole, like... Oh my lord. You get an extra charge every wave on these rooms now, so I think you'd have to be a little silly not to. So I will admit, you know, I'm being tempted by the fact that there's a pretty good chance if you just don't fight Delirium, you'll rank really well today. And it's not like I'm in the most difficult position in the world here, you know. It's not like a 51% want me to do it, 49% want me not to do it. Probably like 80% of people are like, just do whatever makes you happy. I'll tell you what, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, when we see what our score is. I wouldn't put it past myself to try to cheese it and then accidentally invalidate the daily. Like, I don't know what happens if you Alt F4, you hit escape, quit, run, or something like that. I don't know. It's a secret room in all likelihood. But we are... that's the first damage we've taken in a long time. We're very well equipped to tackle the unique concerns of this daily. We still do have the Hush fight, and the Hush fight, I mean, it gives us points, but it's going to cost us points as well. I don't think we need flies. I'd rather have Flat Penny to give us keys, and then we use those keys as a point bonus. Like, that's how in I am right now on this run. Like, the extra 300 to 400 points we could get from keys, sign me up. Because I think we got a chance here. We're out of boss rush, like, in time. That never happens. In time to easily get to the Hush fight. We do, I mean, probably we'll want Dark Bum to pick those up. We might as well fight, maybe, I don't think it matters. I really don't, but... I'm not gonna fight Mom yet, just in case the mom, well, just in case the Hush door, like, dematerializes if you leave the room. It's been in the game for, like, 2.5 years or something like that at this point, but I don't think it does. But if we're in a situation where we want to backtrack regardless, why risk it, right? We do have a deal with the devil, like, now.
We don't want counterfeit penny necessarily. It's not horrible, but the only thing I would say is that don't give up too much HP to this deal with the devil. Because we do still need to fight Hush and do the entire Void floor. And to be honest with you, the entire Void floor, basically I'm just subtweeting Delirium. I'm like, oh, I wish somebody would have less HP. Don't you hate it when you keep going back to a boss and then the boss just disrespects you by ruining your dailies? Yeah, that's really insulting. And then Delirium's like, hey, who's this about? And you're like, don't worry about it, I'm a private person. You drop the key at the southern entrance. Like, we could make it into the boss trap room here. I think that just adds in a degree of uncertainty that I'm uncomfortable with. Not to be the world's biggest baby back bitch, but I really don't want to... I mean, why is the thing? I guess we got this self-sacrifice room where we can get some extra spirit hearts, but it doesn't benefit us enough to justify the potential cost, even though the potential cost is fairly low to begin with. Alright. Obviously, easy money there. Okay. I don't really want either of these, to be honest with you. I can't... I have to leave and try to come back in and hope that portal is like... Oh my god. I gotta know. I gotta check the Reddit thread after this and see, like... People were like, hey, I got sucked into the portal just before the Hush fight. Alright, so... Crooked Penny's always interesting. These are garbage, so we're looking for like a Perthrow or a D6 or something. Ah, okay. Well, Scapular is lovely, don't get me wrong, but you gotta go Pyromaniac. Immunity to explosions by itself is worth a ton. And despite this being a little bit contrary to my normal strategy at this point, I am going to take Blood Bag because I want the speed upgrade. Then we come in here, and I feel we might as well buy Crooked Penny. We might as well buy a starter deck. I don't know why everything's half price, but, you know, remember, we're spending, but it's because I want to make the Delirium fight that much easier. So, I mean, we don't really want Converter. Nightlight's fine. There's option. Okay, maybe, like, I mean, we're spending a little too much. The map's good. Fanny Pack's good. Glowing Hourglass, not that good. You want to double everything? Maybe get, like, a battery charge? Otherwise, we're stuck with Crooked Penny. You know what? We're stuck with Crooked Penny. We got no, Nightlight? No, not no Nightlight. No Black Hole? I think that's completely okay. Crooked Penny, if I'm being real with you, is what we were going to take at some point anyway. Because the chance to double everything is too valuable. From a point standpoint, from a Zane standpoint, it's got everything the body needs. So, it does suck to lose the Black Hole, but the Black Hole was amazing for us on Boss Rush, and that's enough. Even if it's just a Boss Rush specialty for whatever reason. It did amazing work for us on that last run. So the scores, the high scores were between 45 and 35,000, or sorry, 45 and 55,000. We should be able to ascend to those levels if I'm being legit with you right now. I'm just thinking like, man, it would be so nice to have shielded tiers, but that's an aside. We're going to be at 37 by the time we leave this floor, with the full floor remaining. So the easiest way to get to 45,000 would be to, I mean, of course, A, never take damage again, which has now failed, and B, crank on these consumables, and then you usually get a little bonus for finishing the run regardless. We got it, we got it, we got it. Okay, let's go. Go grab a Spirit Art back here. This is our Void floor. And let's get a move on. So what do we have? The World card? What was our other card? The Hierophant? It is the Hierophant. So we blow this up even though I don't think it gives us anything at all. Well, it gives us 3 cards. It's not useless, actually. Wheel of Fortune. And then we replace the tower with the Hierophant. And a High Priestess, like, I'm semi-confident we do more damage than High Priestess does at this point. So again, general MO here. You want to explore every room, take no damage, and then quit just prior to the delirium room. Whether or not we go through with that plan, I don't know. I feel like, oh, it would be a compromising of my ideals, but at the same time, every time I've gone through with the delirium fight to finish a run, I've always lost, like, thousands of points, and sometimes I've also compromised my ability to even win the run. So it's kind of like if you can't beat him, eat him, and if you can't beat him and eat him, join him, as far as I'm concerned. Because I really feel like they should just make it so delirium gives you, like, it doesn't have to be a big bonus, but if delirium gave you another 3,000 points for beating it, everyone would try to do it, because that's the way that you get ahead on these dailies, is you do aggressive plays that other people might shy away from because they happen too fast or they're too dangerous. And I think, you know, that would actually be bad for me because I'm a notoriously terrible player when it comes to delirium, but okay, those spikes might be legitimate still, so be careful. But I think that it fits the spirit of the game better. It fits the spirit of the game better. Okay, you don't have to sponge meme me. Give me the... right there. These are like all potential delirium fights, so I'm going to stay away from them for now. You might ask why I sought them out in the first place. Got a good point. In fact, almost every one of these could be delirium. So you know what? Let's force our own hand. Okay. You might think I'm bummed. In a way I am, because I've gated myself out of one of the options. But in a way I'm not, because now we can just go through the rest of the floor. And I was looking at, you know, go look at the map. Pause the video, look at the map. There were like 2 locations where delirium almost certainly would not be. And then in every other location that a boss room could be, like the terminus of a path, there was a decent chance it could be delirium. So I figured, let's just go for the bosses closest to us. And then, you know, if it is delirium, at least we found it fast. If it's not delirium, then at least we didn't waste time, you know, tracking to an area that might be delirium nonetheless, you know? So this is an easier delirium fight than usual. Probably our ridiculously high damage, piercing shots, killing power, and Tech 0 are doing great work for us. I'm not going to sweat getting hit twice. I'm not going to sweat getting hit 6 times. And you know what? To kill delirium, that sounded like an Eternal Heart, but to kill delirium and maintain, like, my own twisted sense of, you know, a moral code in Isaac feels good. And I almost immediately ate it by taking damage against a troll bomb right after that, but we made it. That's fine. Alright, I mean, you might as well. Well, we might as well not have, because it cost us 20 points, so at this point, if we see an item that's fun, we should take it. If we see an item that just sort of exists, we shouldn't take it. Like, we could take all the guppy items once we see if there's 3 guppy items on this floor, for example. And now we feel pretty safe going into, like, every single one of these rooms. Like, blue map, we don't need. Sure, maybe it finds us the secret room. The second secret room, I should say. Alright, it'll find us both secret rooms, but I don't think it's high on the necessity list. And, I mean, to be 100% real with you, we should kill every enemy without getting hit at this point. I would have given myself... Oh. I would have given myself way more slack for taking damage, extra damage on top of what we already took against Delirium than I would give me for taking extra damage now against pretty much any other enemy. I'll take this because it gives us 5 items. Or, sorry, 5 bombs. And I think that that's worth something. That is a devil card. About halfway through this floor. So we're going to finish 45, I actually think is within our grasp. If we don't take damage, maybe a lucky 2 of X card shows up. I think 45,000 is not outside of the realm of possibility. I think this could be a top 50 daily. Let's call it top 50 for now. And that's top 50 with Delirium. So as far as I'm concerned, that's like number -12, you know? We're higher than number 1. That's a little bit of a stretch, but... we did it our way, and for once, our way worked. It probably still did not work as well as the other way, but it worked. Gosh darn it. Okay, Pandora's box is actually garbage on this floor. I believe it gives you nothing. I've heard they've recently added more hops. I have also used Swallowed Penny approximately 0 times. And Swallowed Penny, of course, I mean, it's beating around the bush here, but Swallowed Penny, of course, is actually Crooked Penny. Should try to double some things. I don't know. Kind of just focused on playing half decently for now. Keys are thankfully coming up. Mostly, again, that flat penny pickup, which I do think was the right call. If we can get to 43,000 before the world, okay. If we can get to 43,000 before before we finish the run, I think that we will have a great chance to be in the front page of the leaderboard right now. 55,000 is not within grasp. I think to get that done, you'd basically have to not take damage on this run, and then maybe, I mean, if you use your 2 of clubs better than I did, you could eke another 1,000 out of that, potentially. Or maybe you double the 2 of clubs with Swallowed Penny. You know, that puts you in a great spot as well. But today's daily, I'm giving it the seal of approval. This is like an A to A+ daily as far as I'm concerned. I had a great time on today's daily. If we play our cards right, we might be at 44,000. If we're at 44,000, dude, I mean, that's pretty good. You might wonder, by the way, why am I not picking up, like, anything, even some items that are good? At this point, you know, 1 room of Guardian Angel isn't worth the cost. We should open this, because 2 keys, if we get 2 pennies, we got a good chance to get it back. We got 1 penny and some bombs, which are functionally the same. And... what do you got for me? I thought maybe he would give us points just for eating those. Some of those enemies do. I'm not going to blow up Spirit Hearts because a bomb... or sorry, Tinted Rocks, because a bomb for a... for Spirit Hearts that I can't even pick up makes no sense to me. So we'll very, very quickly just come up here, crack into this, and blow these both up. And that's going to do it. So we're going to be at like 43,643. I'd say we've got a good beat on the front page today. For now, at least. It is pretty early in the day still. Well, actually, I live in like the westernmost time zone. So it's not really early in the day. But still time. You know, people are coming home from work and stuff like that. But it's not quite this one. But I think that we'll be definitely within the top like 50 today. Top 100. Somewhere in that vicinity. So let's go check it out, see how we did here. We got 43,648. I thought we were going to get a point bonus when we finished, but no, we're 103. I was tooting my own horn more than I should have, but still, a good run, a fun run. I had a great time. Hope you did as well. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, but for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.